Okay, going live. And I just want, hang on, I'm behind. I always do something wrong. There's the link in the gun channels if you want to join the chat and be on the panel. Okay, coming live from behind enemy lines. As I see it, a 1-hour talk show about guns, politics, anything that crosses my mind. I also answer questions from the audience. Email me a question at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com. Okay, who have I got? And is that Scott and Patriot in the room there? I would introduce you to my panel, but I ain't got one yet. Must be something else going on, but that's okay. It might turn into a long chat. It might be a short one. I don't know. Just want to say it was a great show last week. Really enjoyed it. Got a lot of info out of it. I have no sponsors. So if anybody wants to sponsor me, feel free. And say about that. That's about all I can say about it. I can't make people sponsor me. Why they would? I'm so small. You know, they want somebody who has a presence, I guess, online, or I'm not what they're looking for. But that's okay. I really didn't start this for that. Just for something to do. Really. So, but it's turned into something more than that. I do enjoy doing it. And if I miss a week, which I have done in the past, I feel bad. So I do try to be here every week, and if I can't, I will let you guys. I will give you notice that it's not happening. But anyway, let me on with my topics here, where I can go up and rolling. So let me go. I know what I need to do. See if I can do this real quick. All right. Paste it over in gun channels that I'm live. See if anybody else shows up. What can I say? All right. I'll see if a few more people show up before I do the quiz answer for last week. And I got, at the last week's winner. With Christmas coming on and the weather and everything else, I didn't get your package out until today. I know it's a week late. I know you won it last week. I do apologize. I really do. So just wanted to let you know if you're out there. I done this one before, but I thought I would bring it up again. Well, let's start with what I got as a topic. What does it say? In close, the older person like myself. It's not that I have the answer. It was more like I was looking for the answer. You know, up to me, the way I am right now. I mean, I've got to be observant. I've got to see it coming. If somebody comes up to me now and hits me or pushes me or bumps into me with my walking conditions, I'm going down. There ain't no two ways about it. For that, I've got to find some way that I can protect myself. Now, for the times like if I'm going around the mall or I'm going in Walmart or something like that, I have an electric scooter that I can use. So I got to be more aware of that behind me or anything else, knocking me off of that. But I think on that, I have more of a chance of not hitting the ground all the way per se. You know, I don't know. These are the kind of things that go through my head. Hey, Michael, good you came over. Appreciate it. I'm lacking a panel today. Me, I'm feeling like you know, I'm feeling like the the redheaded stepchild here. Okay, you know, there must be something else going on. That's the way I look at it. So that was what I was saying about defense. I need to find here. I've been looking, but I haven't come across one yet. Maybe I need to call them out and speak direct to see if they do it. You know, maybe they do one-on-one. Somebody with a handicap like myself, who, you know, who either walks with a cane or uses an electric scooter or a wheelchair. There's got to be somebody out there doing training. You know, I suppose I need to learn too. You know, if I am on the ground, which I don't mind doing. You know, I have no problem getting on the ground. I can fall down easy. It's getting up is the hard part. You know. Hey, Grim, good to see you. Ah, hey, Clover.
What's up, Rick?
Glad you can make it. Oh, G's got something going on?
Yeah, he's doing a tool chat over there. It's running long, apparently.
Okay, no problem. I figured something was going on. You know, I was bringing up my first topic. You know, for an older guy. It wasn't. I had the answer. My line might have been a bit misleading. Something for self-defense for myself, close up, being disabled and slower. I mean, if somebody ran up to me right now, me standing with my cane, I'm going to hit the ground. Wow. You know, there's no either hit the ground. The guy just try to keep my balance. Right. You know, so I've got to learn to fight from either from the ground, be what's going on around me. If I don't get hit like that, caught off guard. Right. But then I was just saying though, maybe see if anybody does training for handicapped people. Maybe I need to call them and see if they'll do one-on-one training with me. Right. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just going to be, you know, if somebody was to take you down like that, you know, it's potentially going to knock the wind out of you and do God knows what. So, I mean, are you going to be able? Is that's what you got to consider? Is it going to incapacitate you to the point you're going to be able to do anything anyway?
Yeah, I know. So,
and I mean, I'm looking at that from a healthy guy standpoint. I mean, if somebody was to NFL tackle me to the ground, you know, I don't know. That's a little different. If somebody just threw me to the ground, it'd be different than if somebody tackled me to the ground. So,
yeah. So you're right. Oh, Philou says I'm sick too, so I practice shooting from the couch in bed positions. Well, I do that, you know, dry fire practice at home here. And I said, as of last week, I got an electric scooter, which I haven't been able to get out to the range yet. But I'll be sitting in it at home here, shooting at my dry fire and shooting off of my, you know, because I'll be using that. Like if I go to Walmart or something like that, or the mall, I can't walk around them; they're too big.
Right.
I'm gonna have. That's why the doctor got me the scooter. At least until I have my hip operation. You know, I might be a bit steadier on my prepared. You know, but I mean the back. I mean, if that gets repaired, I'm still gonna be walking stiff-legged anyway because I got a bad back. You know, but. I mean, that was one of my topics I was talking about. See if anybody had any ideas. I think I will I think I might call up the instructor who, when I had the operation on my left hand, you know, I'm left-handed. I'm naturally left-handed, and I had to learn to shoot with my right hand. Maybe I call her up and ask her. She might even do it. So I don't know. That's all I can think of, really. It's just practice at home dry firing from different positions.
Right.
And down at the range, practicing from the practice at the range. You know, like from being knocked down to the ground. I said, I said, I don't know you were in here when I said it. I can get to the ground quite easy. Falling to the ground ain't no problem.
Right.
You know, getting up's the hard part.
Getting up.
So I might have to do that kind of training with somebody there to help me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get me to my knees. I don't have I can get myself up.
Yeah, I don't have the problem. Getting up, you know, but yeah, I train on the ground or practicing stuff pretty regular. So
yeah. Practicing from the ground to just lately thinking about it.
Well,
you know, because it could happen.
Yeah, and it's one of them things where it's not necessarily, for me, it's not necessarily an issue of getting knocked down, but you know, if I'm in a restaurant, you know, I may have to get down behind a table, you know, or a chair, or you know, in any number of little things. You know, there's all kinds of little like little flower beds. You know, they have little rock whatever walls or something sometimes that are a foot or two maybe high, you know, and that's cover places. So I mean, if you're ever in a situation and you've only got, you know, 2 foot of cover, what do? You're gonna lay down behind that and raise up and shoot over it, basically, or
you're right,
something like that. So being able to shoot from those varying heights more than anything, to me, is important.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not just. I mean, as they all keep saying, you got to get off the X. You know.
Yeah, your first job's cover if you can possibly get it.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to win a fight. You're not going to win a fight if you're the first one that gets shot. So.
you got a point. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this is what I've been thinking of lately, the last few days, or last couple of weeks, actually. Thinking more about this, the better training for myself. You know, I can hit a target when I can hit a target. You know, I'm not a bad shot, really. Better night strike. You know, hit a target.
Yeah, right.
He's not here. I sent him a link, but I don't know where he's at. He might be in the other chat. Anyway,
Philo says your scooter can be covered. That's true. What you need to get for that scooter is you need to get like a bulletproof windshield for it. Then you don't got to worry about
it. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I mean, but I've been sitting in there. What I've been doing when I've been sitting in there and I've been practicing around inside my house here right now, so I can get out to the range with it. Right side armrest up, where I can get access to my gun, sitting on my right side.
Right. Yeah.
I'm learning to sort of like lean over slightly to the left, pull my shirt up, and dry fire. That's what I've been doing lately. I do that at night watching TV. So, yeah. Anyway, got a few people in here now. Let me do my quiz real quick. Use my program doesn't have any music with it. You know, but I actually got about 8 people entered. So, you know, and this was for the deck of cards, the Old West playing cards. A real easy question, too. And hang on, where have I got it? The question was, name the 4 pistols used by James Bond. And so, Hang on, I got the answer here somewhere. Better give you the answer. The 4 I have, now I'm not sure there was actually more than this. But there was 4 Walters pistols. The PPK, the P5 Compact, the P99, and the PPK-S. 4. Because one of the answers I got had those 4 plus a couple of others.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in as being correct because at least he got the 4. I do my drum, push my button. I got no music, I'm afraid. Let's see who it is. Miles. Is it milesmate@gmail.com? You are the winner. Send me your mailing address to my email, and I'll get them out to you.
That's Patriot in the Dark.
Oh, is that who that is? I have his name on there. So Patriot in the Dark. Okay. So and we'll have another quiz. Get my props. Actually, I'm going to give a different patch away today. I am going to give away the skull or cow's head or the skull of right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Patch. It came. G-Webs had them made. That's going to be for the quick tactical quiz that I'll have in about another 15 minutes or so. All right. We talked about close-up training. Okay, here I brought this topic up once before. This months back when I first started this thing, it was, what do people feel about using books, DVDs for training at home? You know why I said this? When I originally joined USSA, well, whatever the station, whichever one is, what the USCCA or whatever, how you pronounce it, they sent me a whole because I joined I had the maximum one they had. They sent me a whole about 7 or 8 different videos on training stuff. You know, and I got some books too. So, I mean, do they help?
I think they do. Yeah.
I think they do. You know, they showed me what was going on. You know, some of those DVDs. You know, it's the same one like what's his name does his show. The radio. His name right now has his show every Sunday. Tom Gresham.
I don't know. You lost me. I don't watch a lot of stuff like that. So
he's on it in a radio TV show or some shit, and stuff. He does a lot of that. You know, where they use what's called ammo, real guns.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I think by learning that, you must learn. I mean, I don't know. Just watching it, but he claims it does. You know, so you might have some idea down something. You know what I'm saying? I guess in your brain. I don't know, but okay. What we got here? Oh, okay. See you later, Grim. There's a lot of knowledge in those old training books. Yeah, there is. There is. I think so. Anyway, do you think so too, Clover?
Yeah.
Are you working on something? You seem very distant.
No, I'm here.
Smoking your pipe there? I tell you. Who I was talking to the other day. I know you smoking that pipe. When I smoked for goddamn years. I haven't smoked for about 7 or 8 years now. but I used to smoke a pipe way back when, and I was cleaning out some drawers the other day, and I found pipes.
Oh wow!
You know, and I'm thinking of you smoking yours, and I could. And I'm thinking, but I'm afraid even with a pipe, I'm afraid if I start smoking a pipe, I reckon within a couple of weeks I'll be back to cigarettes. You know?
I haven't. I've been smoking a pipe for about a little over 2 years now. And I haven't had cigarettes in quite a few years. I hadn't had cigarettes in probably close to 10 years. I went to some cigars, and then I don't know, two, maybe 3 years ago, went to the pipe, and I smoke a lot less because a pipe lasts longer. So I mean, you end up smoking less because you can smoke on that pipe for, sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I know. Mine, the pipes I had, they would go a while.
Yeah, and so you got to think how many cigarettes or whatever. You could smoke a pack of cigarettes in that length of time. So
yeah.
And with cigarettes, I mean, you've got a lot of issue with the paper and stuff like that. It's a lot of where the chemicals and the things are at. So, the pipe is not safe. Don't get me wrong. It's I'm not advocating that at all. But, if you're gonna smoke or if you're gonna use tobacco in any way, a pipe is the most I don't know, the healthiest. I guess none of them are healthy, but I guess pipe would be probably the healthiest way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with
you. Chewing tobacco and snuff and things like that, you've got direct contact with the skin, with the tobacco, and so that's not good. And obviously with cigarettes, things like that, you inhale, so that's not good either.
Yeah. Well, I'm holding off so far, but I might have to. I don't know how much longer. I mean, you see, so back in my mind, when I got rid of the cigarettes and I get rid of the pipes, why did I keep the pipes? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, that's like first quit drinking. I had to get rid of it all from my house, all of it. I mean, because if I kept the bottle there, it would have. In the back of my mind, I would say, "Oh, look, I got one there. I can always go back to it." See, mind, I said I'm going to go back to smoking one day. Maybe that's why I kept the pipes. I don't know. Hey, nice try. Good to see you.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Is the gun chat over or whatever it was? Tool chat?
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
You're a bit robot-y, but I can hear you.
Okay, well. Hold on.
You're sounding all right now.
How about now?
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Okay, I can hear you.
Good.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Outstanding.
So anyway, back to where I was. We went through that, went through the pipe. Oh, yeah, something that you mentioned the other night. I subbed to is it American female chick or whatever her name is?
American gun chick.
Yeah. Said it seems like she's trying to to not use her, what's her sexual charms or whatever to
sexuality. Yeah, sexuality.
I don't either. I don't want to know.
But anyway,
I don't think she is actively using it, not like a gun bunny would or something like that. And I think she did it probably more in the early days than she is now. She's trying to become a serious creator.
Really yes, exactly. That's what I was saying, because I've watched a few of hers. I watched a couple, 2 or 3 from the beginning. Then I watched some like towards the end here and there. You can see there is a difference. Fine. But where I was going with that is we need more females into, like, even onto gunchannels.com. We need more. We need more.
Yeah, we've had that conversation many times.
And it brings me into another a subtopic of that is, and this is what I'm going to try to do is, I think
Rick's
to do that
subtopics now. Watch out.
To do that is need to behave ourselves. Try to cut out on the
Not strike.
What? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
I know.
I did. I swore a few minutes ago when I was talking, but I need to, try to cut out the real gentleman to attract female.
Yeah, but there's an overall point to that too, Rick, and we talk about that, and it's just like oh crap, Bullseye was saying on the show the other night too. It's not just women necessarily that stuff turns off, but I mean, if you're degrading to women, or if there's excessive cursing and things like that, I mean, you turn off a lot of guys too. You're turning people off.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, that's I'm not advocating one way or another. I'm just simply saying, if you're looking at growing the tent, you don't grow a tent by alienating people.
Right. Yeah. I watched that entire chat, Clover, and I hate to say it, but Marva's also right about what kind of jokes you tell. A joke here and there is fine, but sometimes our jokes go way down the rabbit hole, and maybe we should stop ribbing each other as much.
No, yeah, and the ripping each other is not even necessarily a problem. It's just, the whole, and I'm glad you're here and you're mentioning that, because you get into the whole cat thing and the blue dress, and I mean that's off color, honestly. It really is. I mean, everybody thinks that's funny and whatever, except for Night Strike.
Except for Night Strike, who owns a cat and does not. It does not prescribe
a big difference. There's a bit. What I'm saying is there's a big difference. It's much more acceptable to rip Ghost about being a 2-bit content creator and self-promoting than it is to talk about Night Strike's blue dress or his cats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's two totally separate categories of joking around.
You're right. That reminds me, Rick. Did you get anything in the mail recently?
Yeah.
Did you get anything in the mail recently?
What?
I sent you some hit or miss stickers. Did you get them?
I ain't got them yet, unless it's in today's mail. I haven't checked today's yet.
I haven't got mine either. I think he's just telling everybody he sent them. I don't think he actually sent them.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know what's going on with the mail, but Travis has gotten his, and he lives in the ass middle of the country. Jimmy has gotten his, and he lives on the other side of the country. So I don't know what's going on in Texas or your end, Rick. I just don't.
I don't know what's going on even. I mean, like the last few days, my mailman hasn't been getting here to 4:00 in the afternoon.
Well, I'll tell you too that, here in Texas, I mean, you got a population thing, and then up there around Rick in the Northeast, you're going to have a population thing too. And I mean, it's Christmas. So, I mean, there's a lot of mail going through the higher populated places, the higher populated hubs. So that's probably what it is. Nebraska is not nearly as populated, and neither is Arizona. So
AWAG's gotten his, and he's in New Jersey.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe he lives close to a postal hub or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And Too Hottie was complaining on Instagram that he hasn't gotten his sticker yet. And you have to give somebody your address in order for a sticker to be sent. Oh, yeah. I went there. Oh,
yeah. But since you, but I will keep an eye out for them, and as soon as I get them, I will let you know. Can I use them for prizes?
Yeah, I gave you 5 of them, so you should be able to give a couple out. But I want to see one of them on that safe behind you.
He ain't got no room on that safe behind him. I don't know where he's going to put it.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to
now.
You're going to get a bigger one?
I mean, you can barely see them. There's some of yours on the side there, Clover, that you sent me. I'm gonna have to change the camera angle, but there's some right there on the side.
Yeah, right there at the bottom.
You know,
right there is a perfect place, right there in the middle, on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So.
No. Oh yeah.
And
there's, I mean, you can't see it, but there's more. I mean, there's camera move the cabinet because there's a bit more room lower down. You know,
right.
maybe if I moved it to the side or something, with the camera can catch it all.
Right, right.
You know, yeah. So, anyway, moving on. But I said language. So, and not only that is, not only females, women from being participating in gun channels and stuff, like young adults or children who happen to be, say their dad's listening to the show while he's reloading bullets and some podcast, and here we are.
Yep.
Personally, they don't want to hear that.
You know, you don't want your kids to hear that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I especially on my show here, I'm going to try not to do it so much, and I'm not going to. First of all, I'm not going to try to do it on anybody's show.
Yeah.
If I am doing it, pull me up on it. I'll be, you know, I'll say, you know, I might be peed off for a while, but I'll get over it.
I'm going to have to make some changes to Hit or Miss, and I may need some help making some changes so that we keep it down. I mean, I've been trying to not curse as much, and sometimes I get riled up, and when I get riled up, I tend to curse a little bit. I'll be honest. But most of the time, I've tried to keep it down because Clover's kept asking me to keep it down on his show, and I may slip up once or twice, but I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be.
Well, and there's things that can be done. I mean, there's other things that can be done that doesn't restrict, because, you know, the thing is, if you get into a situation where you start telling, okay, well, y'all F-bomb, you know, 85,000 times a show, you know, so, I mean, do you allow it to be linked to gun channels, or do you shout out that particular channel or whatever? And I mean, you know, you end up creating division, because, you know, it's one of them things where people take offense if you tell them not to curse sometimes, but you never have anybody that takes offense if you don't curse. It's not like they're offended because you don't curse. So I don't know how we overcome that necessarily. But maybe some type of disclaimer thing to where, you know, at the first of the show, hey, this is an adult show.
Viewer discretion is advised. If you have small children around,
shows.
You know, we don't filter on this show, and, you know,
we probably should.
I mean, put a warning in your title.
Yeah.
Suitable for underage people, or not
suitable for small children.
You know, when you go through your spiel to first of the show, just say, you know, hey. And I mean, most people that are out there, and the ones in the chat, the guys out there, I'm sure they agree. But, you know, most of the shows we watch, we know what to expect from them. You know, so, you know, there's some, you know, as far as the kids watching, you know, taking the alienating people part completely out of the equation, and talking about kids watching or something like that. With parents, that also has to do with their parents. Their parents should know that, hey, if they're on show X, Y, or Z up, then there's a good chance that there's going to be a lot of F-bombs. So that's a parenting decision at that point. So we got to be careful that we're not advocating that people not be good parents as well.
That's true.
Yep. You're right. So that's what I wanted to bring up. My next topic here. Let's do the midway quick quiz. For this, it's a patch, not a sticker. What would you call it? A cattle or whatever. I don't know what you
or something.
A steer skull.
Steer skull. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Now, my question. What did I do with it? Oh, this one is easy. So I need people to look out for me because I can't see my screens while I'm reading it here. Now, you ready? Which shotgun 870 replace? Which shotgun did the Remington 870 replace?
Okay. Repeating again for Rick. Which shotgun did the 870 replace?
Tick tock, tick tock.
Now, come on. How hard is it? Come on, guys.
Are we speaking specifically in the military?
Yeah. Oh, hang on here, guys. Let me get this here, and maybe you guys can come up with a. Let me.
I think I know it, but I'm on the panel. So
Yeah, I'm gonna put. I should have done this. I'm gonna. The answer. So maybe you can come up with a.
Hey, native gun on the gun channel side says Model 31.
Got it.
There you go.
There's your winner. Native gun, you've won this. Send me your mailing address to my Rick's Life as I see it. I'll get that off to you. So.
That's not fair. Native guns and FFO.
Oh, is he?
Everybody else had ample time to answer it.
Had ample time. I think he gave him time.
That's what I said. Everybody else had ample time. So
I know. I'm just giving him a little ribbing myself.
I kind of wished I was out there because I actually knew it. Late. But yeah, that's okay.
Native gun got it first. Sorry about that. Honest, there's a link over on gun channels. You know, or you can stay out there as a moderator. I think I only got you and Grim, and he had to go somewhere. So, you know, I don't hand them out to everybody like most people do. I'm very selective.
Say what?
Well, he's ripping on me.
Yeah. Well, somebody was in the chat the other day, and there was about. It wasn't one. There was about 21 wrenches in there. You know.
Well, it depends. I mean, I've got a resident troll, so I mean, I've got to have a pretty good wrench brigade.
Yeah, well, I do. I mean, I say that I'm going to give more. It's just that, you know, strike was in the actual. I would do him and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but was it on your chat the other day, or was it another chat that I saw, Clover, that I saw someone doing something? And I just went and pressed the ban button on him. I think it might have been your chat.
Oh, I don't know. Y'all have pretty much free reign on mine. If you know what I want, and if they're not doing what I want, then yeah, ban them. Because here's the thing, and a lot of people may not know this. If your moderators ban somebody, you can always go back into your channel analytics stuff, and you can look at who's been banned and all that. So I mean, you can unban people if it's like, well, normally they're good. You know, they just got out of hand that one chat. So,
oh yeah, I mean, I've seen.
I'll go back
in the days before I stopped watching Yankee.
Yeah,
that would happen because he has so many people, and somebody would say something at that particular time, hit it the wrong way.
Yeah,
and they were banning him. Then people would say, "You banned so and so," and he would look and he would go unban him.
Yeah,
you know,
I'll do it later on. I don't do it during the show, obviously, but I'll go back and.
No, he doesn't give everybody during the show either.
Yeah, give everybody a chance, and even Frank Castle, you know. Who's my troll? He even him. I mean, I gave him a chance, but I mean, after you've had a chance, that's it. You know what I mean?
I mean, some people don't realize that. You know, you may get a second chance once, but you know, more often than not, you're not going to get a third or fourth chance.
Right.
And you need to realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. All right, back to my other topic now. I'm not going to mention names, but I think all of you were there. Is I would not waste my time having somebody on my channel like a Tifa or whatever you call it. I mean, to me, I listened to it once before, hour and a half talking to these idiots, and it was a total boring hour and a half. So when he brought that person on the other night, I just clicked off.
Right.
I remember the chat. They had the John Brown Gun Club people on.
Same thing. Yeah, that was a total waste.
They weren't entirely Antifa, but they weren't entirely right in their mind either.
No. So I mean, I don't have time. I mean, I don't want to listen to that. You know,
the thing about that kid, Rick, is he wasn't. Your next is Kid Anarchy. Yeah, that's what we're calling him. The thing about that kid is I don't know that he was Antifa anyway. I think he was a kid that didn't know what he was.
Yeah, I think he was a kid that, like you said, was kind of just throwing out some ideas that he'd read somewhere and thought, hey, that sounds kind of cool, but he had no kind of backup for any of it.
Yeah, well, as I'm saying, I mean, that's so, but I didn't stay around to hear that. Once he said Antifa, boom, I was gone. You know what I'm saying? I remember from the last time. But I know if somebody happened to, like on YouTube, where most of them come from, if somebody actually came on.
And apparently we've been invaded by a 2-bit content creator.
Yeah, watch him. He'll self-promote. Watch him.
You know, if somebody was anti-gunning and actually came up with and actually had some worthwhile questions, then I might invite them on. But
this guy was apparently very pro-gun. He was just anti-government, apparently.
Yeah.
He thought he was.
Anyway, but I'm just saying that to me, I mean, I don't know for somebody else, so don't expect anything like that on this chat because you ain't going to get it.
All right. Well, that ended up really sort of being a waste of time. And I say that, I mean, you don't know what was going on in the kid's mind or what goes on later on when he gets to thinking about things. But as far as a conversation on air, it was kind of a waste of time because he had those defensive liberal arguments, you know, for everything. He wanted to make everything circular and, you know, answer a question with a question and that, you know, that sort of tactic. So, whether he's learned that in college or high school or just because of his family, I don't know. But, you know, he definitely understood leftist tactics for sure.
Yeah, did you? I done you there, Night Strike. By the way, I don't know if you noticed.
I saw that. I have wrench status now. Fear me.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, by the way.
Is there anything you guys got on your mind that you want to bring up? There, do you guys on the panel?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
What? Oh, absolutely.
Now, those are the only ones I will recognize. You know,
today is Festivus, apparently. It is officially Festivus.
I don't recognize or observe Festivus. I don't care. I'm not a fan of Kwanzaa.
I don't either. I have no idea what Festivus is except for Seinfeld.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's okay. I'll give you a Happy Hanukkah. I'm not Jewish, but I'll say it anyways because you know what? I do kind of like Hanukkah. You know, the dreidel's pretty fun. I'll give them that. I love Christmas. And then, you know, it's New Year's. Come on. That's what we got this month.
Yeah.
I'd like to say, since you're off of work for the next couple of days, if you get a chance to get to the range, try to go out to the range and take someone with you that may not be a gun person. Try to expose guns to a new person and see if you can change their life. But take every opportunity to go out for an hour, if nothing else, and go to the range.
Absolutely. Yeah. I invite people all the time, but they always turn me down. Or some say, "Yeah, let me know," and I'll say, "I'm going so and so." Well, I give them my phone number. I'll say, "Call me." You know.
Yeah.
I won't keep nagging them to go, but
right, you know.
I mean, I use that as my new opening today. You know, I started with live from behind enemy lines.
I'd say what I have enjoyed in the last few weeks on a lot of these chats are talking about stocking stuffers and cheap gifts, and even I think even one of them might have been Clover's even talked about cheap stocking stuffers for gun people, and I like those conversations because that once again brings in maybe new people. If you know of someone that has maybe hinted that they might be interested in going to a range, then for $5, go get them a pair of foam earplugs and a pair of safety glasses. And for $5, you can get that and say, hey, I got you this stuff for Christmas. You keep saying you want to go to the range. I'm going to go ahead and get you some stuff to get started. Now you don't have the excuses to not go to a range. So, I mean, take every opportunity you can, even in a small, cheap way to, like I said, I'm all about bringing new people into the gun community and all that. So I think it's a great opportunity for Christmas, even very cheaply, bring in multiple new people into the community.
Oh, yeah, it is. You're right. I mean, though, people who are into guns keep it very quiet.
That reminds me, Ghost, did you
It's
get
a
the
stigma
anniversary
here.
sticker yet?
It's a stigma here to be a gun person up here in the Northeast. So,
you're surrounded by a lot of people that don't necessarily like guns.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I said, from behind enemy lines. But the back of my to me, if anything ever happens, but the back of the window of my truck is covered in gun stickers. So I don't hide it. I mean, I don't flaunt it. I mean, I don't go around. I mean, we don't have open carry here, so I don't go flaunting around. I'm concealed carry either.
I don't think Rick is behind enemy lines. I think Rick is like the last holdout, and he's surrounded.
Oh yeah, I'm surrounded by Massachusetts and Connecticut. And Rhode Island. They're ready. I mean, they are ready.
So he's
in January with a bunch of bills. But talking about that, there was something I wanted to bring up.
Oh, please
find it. Let me find it. Where is it? Okay, now a gun club, and you could remove Rhode Island. When I read it, change that to the United States. It would work the same thing. Here it goes. And there is a present you will be getting next year with the General Assembly begins a pile of rigmarole, doublespeak, nonsense, and distortion focused on guns, mean evil, ruining, self-firing, dirty money, profiting. Well, you get the point. Here is the problem. They have, listen to this, they have one voice, maybe two, in Moms Demands Action and every town. We have how many? Too many. I'm not saying we should or shouldn't be the mouthpiece for the 2A community. Too many splinter groups. You got the NRA, you got the NRA, ILA, the Second Amendment, you got your rifle and revolver, you got your Gun Owners of America, group to petition the Lord for free gun range access, and who knows what else. You get the point. Just like our cities and towns, chiefs, police, chief superintendents, EMAs, economy developers, commissioners on elderly eyesight, and blah, blah, and sporting community have become the cities and towns of Rhode Island, or the city and towns of the United States, dug in, self-serving, territorial, and diminished in the capacity to serve the constituents and refusing to talk and cooperate with each other. Too many, all competing for your money, your attention, your participation, your time, each group with their message, their angle, and their path to victory, splintered, divided, and easily conquered. There is only one path to save the 2A rights. What do you think? I like that. We got too many groups out there. I mean, we were having this discussion the other day. Guns of America, NRA, and all this. We have a lot of voices out there, but we're not speaking as one. I honestly believe that. I mean, you got people saying the NRA ain't no good. They're anti-gun. They were anti-gun. Guns of America have no compromise. We all need to say the same. We all need to get together and say, I mean, everybody knows the anti-gunners are backed by a couple of people, mainly millionaires out of New York. You know, they control everything. And,
what I don't get is why is there no pro-gun billionaire backing us?
Good point. And whose show was it last night? I think it was Clover's. We need a figurehead up there. I don't know. Was it was it on your show or was it some chat I was listening?
That was the lobby chat. We were talking about whether it's Chuck Willery or James Earl Jones or something. We were talking about, and I brought up a point. I'm not saying that Charlton Heston was the best president NRA ever had, but what I will say is when we had a public figure as the president of the NRA, you saw the biggest growth as far as numbers in the NRA because you had someone to identify yourself with, and everyone knew who Charlton Heston was.
But he could give a speech that everyone could get behind, though.
Yeah,
and but when he said something, it wasn't that he was just saying it because he was paid to send a message.
Right.
He actually believed the message that he was given.
Yeah, but what I was saying is you can let Wayne LaPierre take that same speech and don't get the same movement because Charlton Heston was an idol of something, and people knew who Charlton Heston was. So I think you had to have the positive rhetoric, but having that public figure in there does help. Whether it's Tom Selleck, whether it's James Earl Jones, whether it's Chuck Willery, all these people are pro-gun. But I think as a figurehead, the public face of the NRA, that needs to happen. I think that's a very good point because we need to be able to identify with someone. Yeah. There's a reason why Ronald Reagan was a president, not because he was great at politics. He was famous, and people liked him, and people could listen to what he said and say, "I believe him because I've known him for years." You know.
I mean, basically, same thing. When he was campaigning, he rallied everybody around him. He was a figurehead.
Absolutely.
He said, "Make America great again." When you heard him at the end of his speech, he said the same thing every time. It was the catchphrase, we'll make America strong again. We'll make it rich again. He said the same thing over and over again. And that's what caught on.
What's the one thing that people remember about Charlton Heston's tenure at NRA? My cold, dead hands.
Right.
That's the one thing people remember. And that was galvanizing for the gun community.
Yeah. Right. But we need another one of those now.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So, we need to get, and that's why when these stupid ass liberal, there you go. I slipped up on what I promised I wasn't going to do anymore. Stars in Hollywood come out anti-gun or against the president. It's people. They are a figurehead. People know them, so whatever they say, even though it's crap, is who they are. They're a figurehead. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what we need in the NRA. It's somebody big to take over. We need to work on. So how do we do it?
I mean, the voting system in the NRA is extremely political. I think what's going to have to happen is you have someone like Tom Selleck.
I think Tom Selleck is on the board, isn't he?
On the board. But it's going to take someone like Tom Selleck to publicly say, I want to be the president. Until they publicly come out and say they want to be the president of the NRA, it's going to be very, very difficult to convince him to do that,
Give him a letter. Or send him an email, you know what I'm saying? We need you to lead the NRA. Yeah. I might do that. I might look up his email address. He's got to be around somewhere.
Magnum PI.
Well, I'm sure that the public records of the NRA probably have to have it listed somewhere, don't they?
I would imagine they do. Yeah. The president, even if he came out and made a commercial on TV for the NRA or something. That's what we need. Even James Wood would work, but he's not on the board right now. I don't think he's a very good. He's a pro gun too.
Yeah, they mentioned him, and I didn't realize that I didn't realize that Chuck Woolery was very pro gun until they showed that video the other day. I had no idea.
That's pretty good video, actually.
It was a good video.
Yeah. You're being very quiet there, Clover.
Oh, y'all were on a roll.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for your input on this. What do you think?
My thing, I commented a bunch on that. I'm trying to remember now a lot of what my comments were, but we're in a day and age where and of course this is just agreeing with most of what y'all said, but we're in a day and age where Donald Trump is president. Okay, it says a lot. It says a lot about society. It says a lot about people's mentality and that sort of thing. And having a nobody two-bit, no offense, Ghost, basically politician in LaPierre up there isn't doing anybody any good at all. And what Pete Brownell, I guess he's the president or whatever. Yeah. And that's a great guy and he's a great advocate, but I mean, he doesn't have the public persona.
Nor does he. I don't think he wants to have that persona. He
doesn't. And for to be and whether you're talking that or what is the Midway guy, Potterfield, even if it was somebody like that, he's a little more well known, but still, he's not an actor. He's not somebody that is out there that the masses see.
And is not comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah, they're rock stars to a crowd, is what they are. So I think that the higher ups out there, the public figureheads, the spokesman, whatever you want to call it, I think they're going to have to. I think they need to pull like they used to in the past on some higher profile. What they've done is, and this is all LaPierre, okay. And don't get me wrong, I'm not ragging on the NRA here. I'm ragging on the job that the people are doing in the NRA, and there's a difference. That's my beef when I rag about the NRA. It's not. It has to do with they could be doing so much more, and they're very easily be doing so much more, and they're not. But it seems like that's happened since LaPierre's come in. So I really think LaPierre is the linchpin. If we could ever get him out, that might start to change things a little bit for the better. But if you'll notice, LaPierre come in, and you no longer really had the big names. You had Colin Noir and Dana Lash, and all of the little people, that they push out there now. Well, obviously they're not paying them as much as they were paying a Tom Selleck or a whoever. You know what I'm saying? They're obviously not getting the same compensation. I don't want to say pay, but let's say compensation, because compensation can be anything. Obviously them not being as high profile. So instead of having one massive, well-known, well-received spokesman or figurehead, they opted to go with several lesser knowns and try to cultivate them to that position. Well, it hasn't worked. So what they need to do is they need to, and that was to their benefit as executives too, I'm sure, because they were able to pocket more money. They're going to tell you that it had to do with the bottom line of the organization and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, go through and look at what those people make, and you'll quickly see that it's like most things, it's about money. So yeah, I mean, I think the fix is you get rid of LaPierre, and then you find one or two or even three, or however many you can bring on, that want to be active figureheads, whether it's I don't know about Woolery. I mean, if he would do anything or not, but I know there's a lot of pro Second Amendment actors out there, well-known actors.
Keanu Reeves,
and even rock stars or pop stars, or I mean, look at what Ice-T is one of the most pro that you'll find. And I mean, look at and I don't know, I got to tread softly in saying this, but look at the possibilities of what he could bring into the camp.
Oh, I mean, and it's not a racist thing at all, but he brings another demographic to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's a lot of black very pro, black, Second Amendment supporters.
Colin Noir has an opportunity, but he hasn't really done what he probably should have done.
I know. We were in over at a house. It was after an archery tournament or something, and anyway, it's black family, of course, and they were. What do they do? Barbecue? Yeah, she barbecues. That's what it was. And anyway, she had ribs just fed us well. Anyway, and they took me back with their safes, and good Lord, it's the amount of guns they had. You know what I mean? I mean, very, very pro Second Amendment, and all of that. So it's not, there's not a cultural or racial divide when it comes to the pro Second Amendment community. There's really not. But the problem is there's really no voice for that to bring even more people.
I think that's what that guy was saying.
I think it would.
In that letter I read is that we don't have a voice. Shouting, and nobody's hearing us.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm gonna find Tom Selleck's email. I'm gonna write him an email telling him that we need.
Yeah. And here's my thing to kind of piggyback on what Clover was saying is I think we do need 2 or 3 of these spokesmen, figureheads. Maybe not necessarily, they might not necessarily want to be involved in the political day-to-days of the NRA, but we need spokesmen. But I would sit there and say we need to have spokesmen that are willing to step out maybe and do that, because the last thing we want is to have a Tom Selleck out there as a spokesman of the NRA. And then another Vegas or Texas happens. Well, who do we want on CNN arguing our side? Do we want Wayne LaPierre or that public figure? And we need to make sure it's a public figure that doesn't mind doing, the CNN standoffs and the press tours and all that, because when we do have a tragedy that involves guns in one way or the other, we want to have that same person up there, not just doing commercials, but being on the CNN, because you're going to reach more people. People will watch Tom Selleck debating guns than they will Wayne LaPierre.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, where are we at? Oh, okay. My quiz for the pack of Old West playing cards.
All right.
This is the last one.
I got mine a couple weeks ago. Thank you very much, Rick.
Yeah.
I love them.
I got mine a couple weeks ago, too. And thank you, Rick.
All right. Now, I had a couple of questions here. I wasn't sure which one to use. I'll stump them and make them do a little I think I'll go for a hard one for the last one. Ready? You got to email this one in to me at Rick's Life, as I see it, gmail.com. You got to next Friday. So, and it's an open book. So it means you can use the internet. All right. Here, you ready? Since 1985, the standard assault rifle had been the SA-80. What was the name of its predecessor? 1985. The British Army standard assault rifle has been the SA-80. What was the name of its predecessor? Look that up, write it down, and I'll announce the winner next week.
What are you doing?
What the hell are you doing? Nice, right?
Sorry, I wasn't muted. I thought I was muted. I'm messing around with sound effects on my phone.
Oh, we heard it all. Well, mute yourself. Or do I have to mute you myself?
You may have to.
Hey Rick, I think if you should hit that eject button. See what that does.
That mute him? Yeah, I muted him.
He's muted. He's muted.
All right, I'll read that question one more time in case people didn't hear it because of the noise. Since 1985, the British Army Standard Assault Rifle had been the SA-80 of its predecessor.
I think I know the answer to this, but pretty sure I do.
Tell that to me, and I will I'll put the answer in the side chat there. But anyway, when I looked it up. No. And anybody got anything else to say? So, everybody, look up Tom Selleck's. He needs to be the figurehead of the NRA. You know, or anybody else. I mean, I was thinking of him, and there was somebody else I was thinking of too. You know,
I don't know. There's so many.
Yeah, but we need somebody. We need somebody to come up. Like I said, like Charlton Heston, because even after all this time, everybody still remembers my cold dead hands.
It's gonna have to be somebody relevant nowadays. So, got to keep that in mind too.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, Tom Selleck is great, but if you're under the age of 30 or 35, they probably don't know who Tom Selleck is.
Yeah, or James Earl Jones. Sadly.
James Earl Jones. The only thing why is because of Darth Vader.
Do. Yes, they do, because Tom Selleck is the star.
And even what's his name? The video we saw yesterday. He hasn't been around for quite a while either.
See, I didn't even know that he was still around. That's my. And as far as Blue Bloods go, how many under 35-year-olds that watch Blue Bloods?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, someone like Angelina Jolie is at one point was very pro-gun. I don't know if she still is, but it's gonna be someone like that who's extremely relevant still. Keanu Reeves would be someone who is very pro-gun and all that, but I don't think he wants to be part of the public light. So, but someone like that would be it.
Jolie and Brad Pitt. Of course, I don't think they're together anymore, but yeah, very, very pro, but I mean, they weren't vocal about it. They were pro in exercising, but I mean, they really didn't get into politics. Now, the one that comes to mind, and this was actually mentioned the other day, the one that comes to mind that I think could make it work is Dean Cain.
Yeah, I saw that, and I didn't know he was pro-gun. Absolutely.
Dean Cain is still out there in a lot of, I mean, we all know Dean Cain from Lois and Clark years ago, but
yeah,
he's out there in a lot of I don't watch a lot of new TV shows, but I mean, I do watch the new Supergirl, and I know he's dad in the new Supergirl.
And he's still young enough and all that.
And that is sort of I mean, with Supergirl's sister being a lesbian and all the other stuff that goes on in that's not a right-leaning show. So, I mean, you get the other side that watch that as well.
Yeah.
So he's got kind of that appeal across the spectrum.
Yeah, and I think it was Philo or someone in the chat was mentioning you need to find someone who's not really trying to work in Hollywood anymore. Well, either that or you find someone who's big enough, to sit there and say, well, we may not like their politics, but we need them to sell tickets. And it's a lot like Tom Cruise. A lot of people in Hollywood didn't like Tom Cruise for a long time because of Scientology, but they also knew he was going to sell tickets. So they had to put up with the Scientology to have in his movies. And if you get someone that's strong enough in Hollywood as far as ticket goes, they're going to have to put up with their politics, which is good. So, yeah, Dean Cain is still young and all that. We're going to need someone like that, and Keanu Reeves, someone like that who's young and active and still athletic and all that.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
Yep.
So I might bypass. I might even write a letter to an email to what's his name, the president of. He needs to get somebody like that up there.
I think Tom Selleck would be. But I think Dean Cain is a great one. I didn't know until it was mentioned the other day that he was pro gun. But I mean, he is. He's still out there. He's young. He's athletic looking. I mean, he puts a great face to. He's attractive. I mean, he's going to bring in women and I mean everything else you can think of. So that's a great one there, Clover.
I mean, he's Superman, right?
He is Superman. That's true.
Ghost, on a scale of 1 to 10, how attractive do you think he is?
So, anyway, I'm about ready to
He's
wrap
a good-looking guy, dude. I'm not afraid to say it. He's a good-look. He's an attractive man.
Right.
You're right. He is. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up from the panel here. Want to plug anything? Night Strike on Tuesdays. You know, hit or miss.
I don't
Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
Right after Tactical Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
You already plugged it for me, so.
Do what?
Self promotion again. Good Lord.
Keep it self-serving.
Those two big content creators, you know.
All right. Anything from you, Clover?
Yeah, I'm gonna mention Midnight Range TM. That's tomorrow night, I guess. He's got some special stuff planned. He's the closer, so check him out after Yankee. Other than that, Merry Christmas. Spend some time with your family the next few days if you get a chance. Obviously, jump on the channels and check out some of the live streams and other things that may be going on. A few of us may have some little special chats planned. And thanks to everybody that comes over here and watches and participates in Rick's show, because I really love this format. I like what you do here, Rick.
Appreciate it. I really do. So I need Night Strike. What you need to do is get into the the schedule. You need to add some of these new ones in there for people to like. I mean, I knew Midnight had his one, but I didn't know what time it started because it's not listed.
The issue
so it needs to be put in there.
The issue is
it's not a set time.
It's one he doesn't do it as
Night Strike admin.
Yeah, he doesn't do it as at a set time. One and two.
I'm calling it, guys. I appreciate you all for being here. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But I'll see you before then. Saturday. Same time, same channel. All right. Thank you very much.